All right, folks, how we doing this evening? I've had a few questions, and it's one thing I wanted to touch on. I keep forgetting to do it. So, quick tutorial for you guys. So, say you have my patterns bundle, either the new one or the old one with the swatches, and you're having a hard time with maybe one or two that you just can't get it back. Like you know how like you learned how to resize it, but some of them are more complex than others. So here's a quick little thing you can do. May make your life a little bit easier until you figure it out. So you open up the new patterns bundle. Let's go to set. You open the main set. All right, this one. So I'll select it, copy, paste it into the new document, and it'll auto load right here in the swatches panel. Okay, now I'm going to show you, if you have yours set up like mine, with preferences and everything else. I'm going to show you what happens first if you just do it like this. No, make sure your fill is selected. You're like, oh, it's too big. And so you've tried resizing it, you can't get it down right by double clicking on the swatch and manipulating it this way. One thing you can do is go, if you have your setup like mine currently is in my preferences, you're going to want to go to preferences, general, turn off transform pattern tiles. If it's clicked, turn it off. Mine was clicked. I'm turning it off because it won't work if you have this little fix thing. So turn that off. Now zoom out, okay, and you want the pattern to be smaller, and you're probably you're frustrated. You tried it and you're just getting more frustrated. Like in my templates tutorial that I went over previously, you can work big, and one of the beautiful things here is if you make it bigger, the pattern will get smaller, and then you can just get it to where you want it. So boom, boom, that looks good. Now the only way to get it so you can work back down to small is you got to expand it and go down. But beforehand, if you have your stroke on here, you're gonna have a bad time if you're not ready to have that ready to go yet. So go ahead and copy, Control C, remove the stroke, and in here you'll have your outline with how you want it. I'll select it, object, expand. Okay, now Control F, repaste that stroke, and that'll paste it right back where you just copied it from. And this will still allow you to be able to manipulate the sizes and whatever else. But when you want to size it back down, well, no, if that happens, it just means your stroke that you copied was the fill. Just turn that fill off. But your stroke will be expanded, so then you can get the shrink back down. Now, do I recommend doing this? I mean, it works. I would say don't make a habit of it, and get better at manipulating the keystone elements in the patterns. One thing a lot of people have a hard time with is just like they're afraid they're gonna mess it up, and you're not. I promise you, you can't hurt the artwork. So if you mess up, that's why I always tell you guys, you copy the one you want to manipulate out of the main set, paste that into a new document. You can screw this up 10 ways to Sunday, you'll still be okay. You can always go back. And pardon my allergies are killing me. But one thing I really encourage, because I don't know how to explain this tool menu like a teacher should be able to. I've been using it for years. I still don't quite, I don't know. It's different for every pattern, so you just got to screw around with it. One of the biggest things is just the basic is you drag a box around the keystone element, and then you make it smaller. You see you got a gap. Now you're like, oh no. Well, if you make it bigger, the gap will get smaller. Now, if you want the pattern to be smaller, scroll that down. I'm tired. And then click size tile to art. That'll bring it into like a default. Then uncheck it and then make this a little bit bigger and it'll zoom in. Let me show you what I did. So we size tile to art. That'll bring it back into a default. Unclick it. Now make the keystone element a little bit bigger and get to where you want it. Now if your height is a little bit different than your width, you're going to want to manipulate this panel here with the numbers. There's no set number. It's going to be different every time, so you just got to fidget with it until you got it where you want it. But yeah, sizing tile to art, that'll kind of bring it in, and then you just uncheck it and then you can make it bigger, and there you go. I don't know how to explain this in a way that makes like if I was Adobe, I don't know how to explain it like Adobe would. Just don't be afraid to click around, see what happens. Like, oh, well, that didn't look good. Control Z, boom, you're back home, you're safe. Drink some water, it'll be okay. But the basic thing I wanted to show you on this tutorial is with if you fill the just go back and restart the video. But basically, make the template bigger. And then if you have that thing unchecked, like I mentioned in the beginning, it's a easy way to kind of get it where you need it without manipulating the swatch panel. And that's it. I'm beat. I'm tired. Y'all have a great evening. Hasta la pasta. And I'll see y'all tomorrow on Monday if the world doesn't end. Let's go.